Hey guys, it's Graphology here, bringing you another Division 2 TU15 strategy on builds. This is because it's Memorial Day. I wanted to throw together a special build. I would not suggest bringing this into any raid content or legendary mode, but if you want to run around in heroic modes, challenging modes, countdown, doing summit and whatnot with heroic or less, it is a fun build. It's not the strongest by any means, but let's get into it. So, because it's Memorial Day when I'm filming this, we are going to be using the True Patriot red, white, and blue. So, if you guys haven't looked at this, this was one of the original set bonuses. Basically, if you as you shoot an enemy, they get a buff or a debuff rather, that either buffs you or debuffs them. And the it's based on a 2 second rotation with this build. So I don't have the chest piece for 1.5. It's 2 seconds. Red, you amplify their damage by 12. I'm using the backpack here, so you get a 12% amplification for that that enemy taking damage for everybody in your group. So that's not just you, but you're buffing everybody on that target. So if it's a boss, that's 12% more multiplicative damage. Um, the white repairs, which isn't a huge deal, and the blue is damage dealt. And again, damage dealt is cut by 12. So it's a pretty substantial buff on whatever you're shooting. Unfortunately, because this, it's on a set 2 second rotation, some mobs die before you can even get some of these buffs out, and other mobs, it's just not a hard hitting build to begin with. So the other thing to note about True Patriot is all the core stats. So this stat right here rolls armor. So in order to do this build, you have to re-roll the core stat to 15% weapon damage. And I'll tell you right now, even with all 6 being red, all your cores being 6 red, you're still not going to hit all that hard. You'll hit for like maybe 400, 500k, even with crits, and I'll show you on the gun range in a second, but it's not a hard hitting build by any means. It's more about putting a debuff on the target so that your teammates get the amplification, and hopefully they're running stronger builds such as just straight red, no set bonuses, straight red, or Heartbreaker for this TU15 patch. I selected the Coyote's mask mainly due to the fact that, again, it's another buff to your team. So you're really buffing your team with crit hit chance, crit hit damage. And then I have a Fenris backpack, or excuse me, not a backpack, a chest plate with Obliterate. You can also run, if you want, Glass Cannon. And Glass Cannon will increase your damage quite a bit because this is additive damage, so 25% additive weapon damage for the critical hits. And very rarely will you get this all the way to 25 and maintain it. But with that being said, it's just a good survival, setup. But if you want to run, say, a sacrifice, by all means, it will do a little more damage. You'll just take a lot more damage at the same time. But yeah, so the key things to note on the 4 set, again, is you want to get critical hit chance or critical hit damage on all of the 4 pieces that you're looking for here, so that you can re-roll the core stat to weapon damage. All right. As far as the weapons go, I actually tried out SMGs here, and quite frankly, the SMGs just weren't hitting as hard in general. I think the best SMG I used was the Backfire, and and the yellow SMGs, I think it was the Dark Winter was the closest one to that. Unfortunately, the Backfire gets you killed after so often. Unless you have a healer in the group, it's not recommended to do that. So I just went with a Police M4. It's a high RPM weapon. You really can use any M4, or excuse me, any assault rifle that you want. I have a few in here that I was playing around with, like this Black Market AKM. I would roll either, because this is a crit. You do want to get strained or maybe opportunistic, which is right here on this ACR, I believe. Yeah. So, or excuse me, Optimist, and that will give you weapon damage. Again, this is additive weapon damage. So, I mean, it's still a substantial amount, but it's not multiplicative, so it's not huge. It's not a huge difference, and I believe strained actually outweighs with the crit hit cap at 60% with this build. So what you want to aim for as far as your stat sheets go, you want to get this number as close to 50% as possible, using mods, using attachments on your weapons, and then everything else you're just going to dump into crit hit damage. All right, that's the rule of thumb when you're running a Coyote's mask. You go for 50% crit hit chance. If you're not running a Coyote's mask, then you go for 60. Try to get this number as close to 60. Don't go over it, because not everybody runs with Coyote's masks anymore, unfortunately. I went with the Firehawk shield, so this is the Striker, and I did put the mods for increased damage, so I have a 4% here and a 1% here. You do get active regen on the Firehawk build, and I believe this is shield health. I would try to farm a 1 damage bonus on that, or a 2 damage bonus if you can get it, and put that in there. And then of course the Reviver Hive is the other build. Now, as far as the weapons go, I mean, you honestly you can run anything you want. I wouldn't suggest an LMG with this, only because of the Firehawk shield, and that does give you a substantial boost in damage, which this build really needs anyways. But I mean, if you want, you can go with an LMG. I mean, it's really, like, I know some people run Pestilence with this. Pestilence isn't a great weapon, but you know, whatever. If you want to run it, you want to run it. But I was playing around with it. I think the best is an AR with strained, and then really I think this is killer, or what is this, close and personal. So this is, you know, I'm gonna be up. If I can switch to a mob up close, take him out with the ACS 12 or the AA 12. Then, you know, I'll get that extra weapon damage. The pistol doesn't really matter for this build, so I just left it here. So let me show you quickly. This is a named mob 5 meters out, and this is how it works. So you notice on my shoulder, the buff is rotating. I did get all 3 on, and I'm sitting roughly around 5 mil, which, I mean, again, is not bad. It's not a bad setup. I mean, it's enough to kill a named boss on Heroic with 1 clip if you get those headshots, which I mean isn't bad at this range. But yeah, and like if you notice there, the stacks, the 3 DPS debuffs did not get on there, so it did not explode. The explosion honestly isn't that great anyways, because it's only based on their HP. It's not based on their armor. And if you guys notice, a lot of the mobs in this game have a substantial more armor than their health pool. So even if you kill a mob that's close to other people in 5-yard range, unfortunately the damage is just, it's not going to be like a one-shot kill by any means. Unlike the Regulus, which will one-shot everything and put a bleed on them. So again, you know, comparing this to the Regulus debuff, it's really not that good of a, you know, a set. But again, Memorial Day weekend, it was Memorial Day. I have to show my colors and go True Patriot and make this video. I felt obligated, considering I haven't played this game in like 2 years, and I wanted to come back and make some content for TU15. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the build. Try it out. It is a fun build. I wouldn't go into raids with it, like I said. If you do go into a raid with it, just let everybody know, hey, I'm kind of fucking around with this and I want to have fun with True Patriot. But when you do that, please, please to God, re-roll all of your cores from blues to reds if you're going to do that. Do not go into raid content with 4 blues on a True Patriot. You'll not look really good. You'll be hitting substantially less than 5 million DPS, all right? So again, thank you for your time and watching this. I hope you guys enjoy. Happy Memorial Day for everybody, and thank you to the vets and everybody in services for us, for the U.S. And yeah, I'll leave a like, comment if you like this. If you didn't like it, leave me a comment saying what I can do better. You know, don't roll True Patriot, because, you know, I don't, but in any event. Okay, guys, you have a good one, all right? Peace.